Live. We're live. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Here we go. My man.
Let's get it.
All right. All right. All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. So, welcome to The Real with Khalil, the podcast for real talk, real lessons, and real change. Transparency, truth, and vulnerability. On The Real, we keep it real. So, I like to mention today I got my first guest ever, my guy, a long-time friend, long-time friend, my boy Marcel. And I'm going to run through some accolades for Marcel before we get started. I want you guys to properly understand who I'm talking to. So, Marcel is from New Jersey. Is that right? Patterson?
Right. Patterson,
New Jersey. Some of his notable achievements are the key to the city, New Jersey Hall of Fame, prep school and college, business owner, and dad.
That's right.
That's beautiful.
That's right.
It also says you own a nonprofit that is called LaCram Foundation?
LaCram Foundation.
What is LaCram Foundation?
It's actually my name spelled backwards.
Ah, got it. And what does it do? What is LaCram?
Well, we really support families, underprivileged families that inner city kids, like kids that can't afford to buy cleats. We just help with sponsorship that way. We go to Umass, we donate clothes and anything for the house, anything for the home, just to get these people back living properly, get them on their way going back.
That's beautiful, man. What made you want to?
I just thought it was a need, man. A lot of kids out here, just being in the culture world now, the high school world, it's like you see kids that are coming up, they're doing a camp with no cleats.
Got it.
So they're slipping around. Oh, I don't have any cleats. So I always go and buy them cleats myself. Right. So I started a foundation that, just gives supports to, single parent families and underprivileged.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah. That's beautiful. What a good way to give back.
Yeah.
And how long has that nonprofit been in existence?
It's been 5 years now.
5 years?
5 years now.
Man, that's beautiful. I mean, so many families, bro.
Yes,
so many families that you've impacted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I remember a kid that we had in school named Kevin, and he showed up to football camp, and he has on Timberland boots, and it was like a joke for us. It was like, funny and ha ha ha, but we, deep down we knew
that's right.
He didn't have any cleats, so I think that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. A guy like Kevin could have used that, for sure growing up,
Definitely.
And so you graduated from, looks like Milford Academy, and that's in Massachusetts, or is that in Connecticut?
No way. It was in Connecticut.
In
Connecticut when I was there. It's in upstate New York.
Okay, got it. Yeah. They switched the university.
Oh yeah, they moved it, baby. Sometimes you got to go up and move, man.
I get it. And then it looks like you also graduated from University of Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes,
go
sir.
Umass. Go Umass. And it says mentorship and being the best parent you can be is something that you really want to live by.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I love that. And I asked you for your favorite quote or piece of advice, like a small piece of advice. You said, don't think about it, just do it. Let God handle it.
That's right.
Okay. Don't think about it, just do it. Let God handle it. What does that mean to you?
It goes back to when coming out of UMass, I was an undrafted free agent. So we were in football camp, and being undrafted, you're not supposed to make the team.
Right.
You're the guy to come in, you practice dummy, you're the guy to take the hits for everybody.
Right.
But I came in with I'm going to make this squad.
Right.
So, you start seeing your peers disappear. These boys start getting cut.
The other guys are free agents.
The other rookies, yeah.
Got it,
other free agents are getting cut. And so you have no choice but to think, well, I'm next.
Right.
So I called my mom one night, and she said, how you doing, this and that? And I'm okay. I'm stressed out though about getting cut.
Right.
And she said, boy, you better go out there and have fun and just play ball and let God handle it. I said, wow. And ever since then, that took all the pressure off me, man. And I just went out there and started playing.
I got goosebumps from that.
And I didn't care.
Right.
I didn't care from there on. I got them too.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, after that, man, my whole train of thought, my thinking, everything about it was just different, man.
I think sometimes it'd be the smallest words, Marcel. And by the way, you guys will hear me call him Shipp throughout this because I've known him for such a long time. But it'd be the smallest things that allow you to have a release. It'll release you from your own bondage and your own, way of being. You're like, oh, someone just gave me this thing. It's almost like you ever, as a kid, someone was like, you see that? And then they take your head and they're like, right there. And you're like, oh, I just need a perspective change.
That's right.
That's some beautiful advice.
That's right.
So I know you sent me over some of the things about your bio. Make sure it's still on. But I want to say, one, he's my first guest. When I first started thinking about doing the Real with Khalil podcast, he was the first person I asked. He was a yes, which I do appreciate.
Yes, sir.
And I call him my longtime friend, but he really is family, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My mom and his mom are friends. Oftentimes, my mom will get me mixed up with him and vice versa.
Yes, sir.
We don't think we look alike, but apparently there's some similarities. But this is my guy, more like family than anything else. I'll tell you a little bit more about Marcel, although he was modest in his sent over as far as his accomplishments. Marcel is a national champion. He's also a conference champion. He has a school record at the University of Massachusetts for 2,542 yards rushing, 18 touchdowns. His career at Umass, University of Massachusetts, Amherst, 5,383 rushing yards, ranked 6th all time. So, and he played in the NFL, which is one of the biggest dreams as all of us played, former athletes, and we all want to go professional. Yes. From 2001 to 2008, has created a beautiful legacy for himself and his family. So yes, I invite you to the podcast today. Thanks for being the first guest.
Hey, pleasure, man.
We're going to get into it, man. Thanks for being. So they'll start off a little bit light. And then we'll get kind of like deeper and deeper as we go. And feel free to just, say whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, feel free to unleash on the things. So we'll start off with like something light. Let's say, what are your favorite comedians?
Ooh, my favorite comedians. It's always the short guys, man, because people call me short, so it's like I gotta roll with my short people.
Okay.
Martin Lawrence, Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Those two are my top two guys.
Okay.
And then
Martin Lawrence, Kevin Hart. Yep.
Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
So
is Chappelle short?
He's not short, so that's why he's like down the line a little bit. But he's one of the top guys for me, man.
He get less love because he's tall.
Exactly.
Man, it always be them. It always be the one.
It's the height requirement.
Be the one. But yeah, Kevin Hart. You said Martin Lawrence. And Dave Chappelle. I think those are the GOATs for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite cereal?
Favorite cereal?
Maybe you have a couple.
It's the Raisin Bran Crunch. It has to be the Crunch, man. But the only thing is, don't put enough crunch in the Raisin Bran, man. So
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Crunch, yes, sir.
Okay, Raisin Bran Crunch. Okay, if you were to have a Mount Rushmore of hip hop artists, okay, so the 4 heads on the Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
You got 4 hip hop artists. Okay, who are your top 4? And these are like, I know people will get in the comments and say, "Oh, that's not the top." It's not a debate. This is just his personal.
That's right.
Top 4 Mount Rushmore. Who you got on your Mount Rushmore?
All right, my personal. Jay-Z is definitely in there.
Okay.
Biggie Smalls is definitely in there. And it's not because I'm an East Coast guy. This is how I feel.
Yeah. I like that. I
like Jadakiss also.
Man.
I like Jadakiss. His flow is, ridiculous. Fabulous is also one of my favorite guys, man. So, I know I left Tupac out,
right,
but he's in my top 10.
Right. Yeah. Respectfully. Respectfully. I like that. I like that. Man, your list is amazing. You got Jay-Z. You have Biggie Smalls, Jadakiss.
Yes, sir.
And Fabulous. I mean, I know why we close friends, but I didn't know it was like, that close.
Like that.
Fab is like my number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fab is, I could listen to Fab all day long.
Yes, sir.
The flow is crazy. Yes. But I love your Mount Rushmore, man. That's a good Mount Rushmore. Where's your favorite place to travel and why?
Okay. It has to be Cabo, man.
Cabo,
Mexico.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, we're here in Arizona. It's a quick, easy flight, 2.5 hours maybe.
Okay.
Direct. I'm there. I'm having a good time with my people.
Right. Yeah.
And, it's really a relaxing time, and they have everything you want, from relaxation to turn up.
Got it.
Everything's there.
When you fly directly into Cabo, you can fly from Sky Harbor. Right to Cabo. Do you, for those who have traveled before, sometimes when you travel, you go to places, like the drive between the airport and the resort is like the scariest part.
Yeah.
Is there is there that like, oh man, I'm kind of like worried, and then you get to the resort, you're like, oh, I'm fine now.
Yeah, it's it could get a little sketchy at times, you know what I'm saying? But needless to say, like, I've done it so much, I know it's not a bad drive. I think it's like a 30 minutes to downtown.
Right.
But you'll hit all the resorts before you hit downtown.
Got it. Do you drive yourself, or you?
Oh, no.
Okay,
never.
Got it.
Oh, no. I'm riding, baby.
Got it. I understand. No, don't nobody want to go to prison in Mexico.
That's right.
No, nobody want to go to prison in Mexico.
Really?
All right, cool. What are your fondest memories from your youth?
Fondest memories. Just, I guess it was just, things were just so authentic the way I grew up, growing up in Patterson, and it's an inner city, Big shout out to Lean on Me, the movie. If you guys ever seen that, you can.
What's the name of it?
Lean on Me.
Lean on Me. Okay, yeah, Lean on Me.
Joe
Yeah,
Clark,
of course.
Call Me Batman.
Yes.
So
yes.
you know, if you ever
East
seen
Side
that
High.
movie, that's right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. My sister went there at that time.
Wow.
You know, so that project that they went to, you know, that's where I grew up at.
Oh, no
you know,
way.
Yeah. So
No way.
Yeah, yep. So, you know, that really brought me back. You know, but just, you know, no one had anything, man.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was just there having a good time, having fun. You know, we living in the projects. How Marlon said, we ducking rocks, playing dirt tag, and you know, just little things, being kids, man. And you know, you had the other elements that were there too, the drugs and crime and things. But it just, that was just authentic to me. Like nobody, like everyone's in the same position, man. So it was something that's
it's home.
To me. Yeah,
it's home. Yeah, I think a lot of times it shapes you, who you are. Your early childhood really shapes you. But to hear you're fond of it, you know, because you could look at circumstances two ways. You could look at it as, man, look how terrible my circumstances are.
That's right.
But I would say the same thing. I never knew we were poor. You know, I never knew we were.
That's right.
I never knew.
Never knew.
You know, a house full of like love and care. And
exactly.
You know, it wasn't like I was going nights without eating.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, man, I think it's big.
Yeah.
You know, Jersey is such a shaper of character.
It is, man.
And it could take you out, or it can make you who you are.
That's right.
You know, so
that's right.
I think that's beautiful, bro.
I always said, like, if you make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Man. So when I came out to Arizona, it was like, oh, this is easy, man.
Yeah.
This is paradise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I would agree with that statement.
Yeah,
I would definitely agree with that statement. Yep. Let me see here. If you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, you get one. You get one cuisine, like. And when I say cuisine, you could be like, you could build me your last meal type deal where I'm like, I want this from here, this from here, this from there. Or you could be like, I want spaghetti. Like, it could be any other range of things.
Yeah. I love baked ziti.
Baked ziti.
Baked ziti. It has to be baked ziti. I started eating baked ziti back in high school. Like before our games, I went to a vocational school, so culinary arts used to whip up.
Got it.
And
they made it at the school.
At the school.
Got it.
So check this out. All the guys in there putting sugar on their ziti. I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. That's crazy. Man, after I tried it, I do it to this day.
Hey, bruh.
To this day, man.
Baked ziti with sugar on it.
Yep. Baked ziti, spaghetti, all that. Sugar.
You black for sure.
Worry about
you
nothing.
You black. I definitely could put some sugar on some spaghetti, bruh.
Man.
What? Change the whole thing. Man. My mom put the sugar in the spaghetti now.
Yeah.
In the sauce.
It's exactly.
So
that's right.
You just like, she's like, you ain't even tasted it yet. I'm already.
You already know. Exactly.
She always.
Yep.
I love that, man. So, and let me ask you this. So, something else about home. What do you miss most about New Jersey or home for you?
What I miss most is I think I just miss my family all being there. You know what I'm saying? So now everyone's all spread out. Like my sister's in North Carolina, my brother's still in Jersey. I have my mom's out here actually.
Got it.
So I just miss being around my family, like cousins, and you know, everybody was, like I said, was like tight knit back there. You know what I'm saying? So those are things I miss, man. Yeah, friends growing up, you know, but mainly my family, man.
Yeah.
Just being together, not being able to just drive down the street to my family.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's big, man.
Yeah.
You took that trip from the East Coast to the West Coast. What year did you get to Arizona?
I got here in 2001.
2001.
2001.
So you've been here for 24 years?
4 years, man. 24 years.
24
I'm from here now. I'm about to lose my Jersey card.
I think you have. I think you're a resident, bro. You must have. You're a resident at this point.
Exactly.
I think it'll never wash off you. The New Jersey never washes off.
That's right.
I met a guy at Home Goods was 78 years old. He's from New York, and I knew he was from New York the moment he said,
"That's right."
What's
you
up?
know.
And I was like, "Where you from?" He was like, "Oh, I'm from New York." And I was like, I could tell. It's in you too early for it to ever wash off.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I get that, bro. If you had one song, okay? If you had one song, or we can go with one artist that you had to listen to for the rest of your life, who would it be? Or what song would it be?
Oh, song is pretty hard, man.
Okay.
But artists would be Jay-Z, man.
Yeah.
Just because like he touches on so many things, the way he came up, you know, selling drugs in the hood, but just to see where he's at today,
right?
You know, those are things that, you know, that's most people's dream.
Right,
you know, that's the dream for the inner city kid.
Right.
You know, what do you say? You got a wicked jump shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people are looking for those outlets to get to that success level,
Yep.
if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
or that level of professionalism.
Success, yeah. The streets is a short stop. If
Yeah,
you're slinging
that's
crack
right.
rock, or you got a wicked jump shot. Yeah, that's
sir.
real, man. That's
Yep.
that's real. All right, we're gonna go to a little bit more like moderate questions. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So, what's some financial advice that you would give your 18-year-old self?
Oh, 18-year-old self.
18-year-old. You just got to UMass.
Just got to UMass. Wow.
Right? And you 18. What financial advice would you give yourself?
I would say save that $90 that I got every semester, put it in my pocket.
What'd you get $90 a semester for?
I mean, I don't know. That's the check that the university cut me every semester. No Pell Grant, no nothing.
Right.
$90.
Oh, you was rich then. You was making bread.
Yeah, I was
Y'all must have
killing
making.
them.
Y'all must
killing them,
But
man.
y'all must have had some money if you didn't get no Pell Grant.
Well, I know we had some NIL sitting that they owe me. I think, man. I need to
you got to go back. You got to go back and get yours. So you got $90. So that'd be your financial advice: save $90.
Yeah, save $90. But I'll go a little further. I'll go back to like my NFL career.
Okay.
You know, I remember sitting in the locker room next to I can't remember his name. He was a running back from Cleveland that came over.
Okay.
And he was on the phone and he was talking to, about his business that he had a carpet cleaning business. Okay. And he hit up the phone. I said, man, you have a business?
Right.
Like, he's like, yeah, I have a car. I'm like, damn. I didn't even know it was, here I am making millions.
Right.
But I'm invested in my financial advisor and he does a great job.
Right.
Great job. But just thinking outside the box, because I was just so locked in football, I stopped focusing on the things that I'm going to need after football.
Right.
The financials, the taxes, different ways like nonprofits and things like that. I just really wasn't. I had to learn it on my own, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just really thankful that I made it through all of those those trials and tribulations, that I got to a point where I can figure this out. Yeah. And I have now. Yeah. But I'm still learning.
I mean, I think that's always the life, right?
Exactly.
I think if you're not learning, you're probably not here anymore.
That's right.
Or you chose to consciously just not learn.
Exactly.
So you go back, you think about being 18, obviously. That's when you were at UMass. You were entering UMass from, what's it called, Milford Academy?
Milford Academy.
And then you obviously go to the NFL. That changes your whole life, right? Financially. Even now, right, at 40 plus years old, right? Yeah. If you were to tell your son that's 18 and he's about to go embark on his own journey of becoming a man, right? Of learning this and the immense pressure that he has no clue of a man yet, what it comes with. And you're like, hey, here's some financial advice I'd give you. If it was one solid piece, knowing everything not even just up to your 18, but your whole plethora of your life, all the facets of your life, what would you tell your him or tell your 18-year-old self? Yeah.
So with my son, with my oldest son now, I've had him creating businesses ever since he was about 11 years old. Okay. Here's the money you have. Mm-hmm. Make me a business. So you have to budget, budgeting, and it's all about, your ideas is one thing. If you can make it work, that's great. But your budget is everything is going to lead to your success eventually. Yeah, if you don't have the money there, I mean, it's a failure anyway.
True.
So my thing is, I'll have him start a small business, like have like my swim company. Like he basically does what I do now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all in his hands. I have a manager that oversees the whole thing, but he has a portion of it that he's learning the ins and outs, all the money that goes out, as opposed to all the money that comes in.
Checks and balances.
Exactly. That's right. So
advising him to own a business or understand entrepreneurship.
Yeah, entrepreneurship.
Got it. Early. Got it.
That is the most important to me. It's the most important thing.
No, I think it's big. I think it's big to be financially independent.
Exactly.
And so I kind of heard you piece that together. Let me see if I can piece it a little bit. You're sitting in the Cardinal Stadium or locker room. Locker room. Yep. You hear another running back talk about his business, and that planted a seed in your mind. Exactly. Now you own, from what I understand, you own you said a swim business, but it's a pool company. A pool company. Yep. Okay. And what does that pool company do?
They maintenance pools and do all the repairs and machinery installation. We don't install the pool itself. Okay. So I stay away from that.
It's like pumps and filters and stuff like that.
They do all of that.
And you do that throughout the valley.
All through the valley.
Got it. And what's the name? Give it a shout out.
It's Clean Bottom Pools. Shout out to Clean Bottom Pools.
Clean Bottom Pools. Clean Bottom Pools. Make sure you guys look up Clean Bottom Pools.
That's right. Okay?
I love that advice, man. I think entrepreneurship is one of the biggest things for sure.
Definitely.
If you can, I have some questions around reinvention. Okay. Reinvention. So I know you played in the NFL from 2001 to 2008. I got here in 2003.
That's right.
And I watched all this. I witnessed all this stuff take place, and I've known Marcel since 1998. I met him when I was a freshman on my recruiting trip at University of Massachusetts. And so I've seen so much change in you as a man and what you've created and all those things, right? Yeah. And so I recall this when the playing career was complete, right? I can imagine, because from me playing at UMass, right, playing college football, and when I stopped playing football, everyone was like, well, what are you gonna do now? Like, what are you gonna do now? And I always said to myself, I'm a person who played football. I was never a football player. And I think those monikers are different. They might be like, it might be, just semantics. No, because I always thought myself as a student athlete. I always knew that I knew for me about day one of my second practice or day one of my second year, I was like, I'm not going pro. Yeah. So for me, the tumblers in the lock were like, that's not gonna happen for you.
Gotcha.
So I immediately started to go, so my change wasn't as like, oh, I'm playing today, I'm on a team, and then tomorrow I'm not on a team. Yeah. Mine was like, I can see the writing on the wall. I'm gonna be here for 5 years. I'm coming as a freshman. I know I'm not gonna be playing professional football. But for you, I think I remember you signed your contract with the Cardinals, and I think in 2008, I don't know what time it was, but then, obviously then your career is complete after a beautiful career. Yeah. After a beautiful career, most people just want to get to the NFL, but to get to the NFL and then play for 8 years in the NFL.
On the same team.
On the same team.
Undrafted.
Man, UDFA. Man, undrafted free agent. From UMass, from a 1AA school.
Yes, sir.
From 1AA school.
Yes, sir.
So watching all that, one, I want to say I admire it, even when we were sitting outside in hot-ass Sun Devil Stadium on metal bleachers.
That's right.
What kind of NFL team was on metal bleachers? Baby. I'm like, our college stadium better than this one. Exactly. But I was so grateful for the whole experience. Looking back now, I could be like, oh man, metal bleachers. But at the time, I was like, bro, you got my tickets. But watching all that journey, watching the whole journey take place, and you go to reinvention, right? Now, I have a question about reinvention for you, because for reinvention, I think for a lot of the people that are watching this right now, reinvention, like we got to this light side of this conversation, right? But the reinvention part of a human, of a person, of a man, of a woman, is one of the parts that really is going to define you as a person.
That's right.
Is defining you as a person, because we've all done something and been successful at that thing. But the next go around, the next chapter, your second call is one that's like a big one, right? And I've seen you transition from a football player to a business owner, and I watch you transition in so many ways. So my question is, was there a seed planted early, knowing, I'm about to reinvent at some point? So let me ask you that question first. Was there a seed planted at any point in those 8 years where you're like, I'm gonna need to reinvent, and you knew it before, like the writing was on the wall? Yeah. Was there a point points where you're like, the writing's on the wall, I'm gonna have to change this thing. I'm gonna have to be a different person.
Definitely. I think it came like I said, that conversation, that was like maybe my 5th or 6th year playing with the, when I learned that my teammate had the business. Right. But I think my last year when it was like, I'm getting released this year. Got it. So when you're in the locker room and everybody's gone except you and one other player, the coaching staff changed 3 times. The athletic staff changed twice. I'm next. Right. You up? I'm next. You on deck. You on deck. You on deck. Oh, man, I'm on deck. You on deck. So at that point, that's when I'm like, okay, what's my next step? What am I going to do after this? And honestly, I had no clue. Because, I was on the same team for 8 years. Right, I never had to bounce around. When you bounce around, it's coming to an end. Yeah. Yeah. So I was comfortable here, so to speak. But I think that my last year when I was like, okay, something's about to happen. I'm going to get released. Okay, I may get on another team. I may not. But what am I going to do next? All right. So I always thought about owning my own business. Okay. I always wanted to own my own business. But like that advice my mom gave me, let God handle it. All these coaching opportunities just started opening up, man. I mean, it was like I ended up leaving NFL, went to the UFL, played there 3 years.
What's the UFL?
United Football League.
Okay.
They were just starting out. I played out in Las Vegas with Coach Fossil, that coached the Giants. He was my coach.
Yeah, I remember Coach Fossil.
And so I was there for 3 years, and then he wanted me to come back for a 4th year, and I'm like, Coach, I'm almost 36.
Got
now.
it. Oh, I didn't know you played until you were
I was
almost
35.
36.
Yeah, I was 35, man. Yeah. And so, 35 years old taking hits, that don't add up too much, man.
Yeah.
So he said, well, come back as a coach. And I said, oh, okay, I'll try that.
Right.
So that's why I got my first start at coaching, man.
That's
Coach Fossil
cool.
gave me a shot.
Cool.
Me and the late Kwame Lassiter was out there.
Oh, man,
and,
Kwame.
Yeah, R.I.P. to him.
Man.
But yeah, so we had and then right after that, Coach Aarons called me.
Okay.
He said, hey, Shipp. Went out there.
Where's Coach Aarons from?
Coach Aarons was the head coach for the Cardinals.
Okay.
Bruce Aarons. And
Coach Aarons.
Yeah.
Coach Aarons. Got it.
Yeah. And he's from Patterson, New Jersey,
Got it.
man.
He a Temple dude too, man.
Yeah, I
He a
know.
Temple guy.
So you know, but let me tell you,
Right.
that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Man. Going over there with the Cardinals. I was doing an internship.
Okay.
Through camp and things, and I'm going to knock on Larry Fitzgerald's door. Hey, you, and I played with Larry.
Right.
Hey, you in the bed?
Right.
Doing room check.
We
You
doing
know what I'm saying?
We doing curfew check. Curfew. Shout out to Larry. Yo.
Yeah,
That's
man,
awesome.
definitely.
And Bruce Arians
Yes,
too. So you got hired after Las Vegas Locomotives to back to the Cardinals, basically, essentially.
Yeah.
To be like, what was that title? Like, what were you?
It was the internship. So
Okay.
they have an internship every year, and you go through camp, and you just really get the ins and outs and see if this is something you want to do, because NFL coaching is a huge commitment.
Yeah,
Man. I mean, it's more than playing to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
makes
It's
sense.
more stress and everything. And so I did that, and then right after that, I went to UMass for a year, and then I was with the Jets.
Got it.
So
all coaching.
All coaching.
Okay, got it.
So it was just like God just kept opening doors for me.
That's
Kept opening
beautiful.
doors for me, and I had to take advantage of the opportunities, man. So
I mean, you really had a
beautiful,
fortunate
man.
run, man.
Yeah.
You think about it
beautiful, man.
it's a really, so you got to come back to the Cardinals, the organization that signed you as an undrafted free agent out of UMass. You then not only got with Coach Arians, Bruce Arians, you then went back to UMass.
Yep.
So then you had to go back to your school that you are king at. Every time I see it, he has a huge like mural. Every time I see it, I'll be like, But it's cool to see your boy, like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And then to go to the Jets, which is right outside of Patterson.
Back home.
Yeah, you back home. I mean,
back home.
honestly,
Man.
you know, it's funny. I've known Marcel since 1998, again. And there's things I'm learning about him right now in this interview that you're learning as well, that I've never known, as far as like, I've known them, but not knew them in like chronological order, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So you knew reinvention was happening. You reinvented yourself to be a coach, right? So not super far off the path. You were still in the same industry.
Exactly.
So when the next time you reinvent, right? Now, was there like a, oftentimes in reinvention, we experience like a loss, almost like a funeral for the old self.
Yeah.
Like, we were this person before, and that's who we were, and everyone knows us as that person. And so because everyone knows us as that person, we're kind of keeping that, we're playing the game with them.
Exactly.
As much as we are the star of the show,
That's right.
the audience wasn't the star.
That's right.
So you go see a movie, you're expecting that movie to be seen.
Exactly.
So then when you are now reinventing and people now have to look at you in a different light, was there a like, oh man, I'm sad about this transition, or what was that like for you?
You know, honestly, it was a breath of fresh air, man, because right after coaching, I fell into I'm training people. Mm-hmm. I'm training kids to play football.
Right.
I'm training older people to stay in shape.
Got it.
So I didn't want to be associated with that anymore.
Okay.
You know, I really wanted to
physical training, like personal training.
Exactly,
Okay,
personal training.
Got it.
And so I really wanted to get away from that.
Why?
Just because I've always been in athletics.
Okay.
Like it was something I'm like, I want to do something different.
Okay.
I want to do something completely different that, you know, I want to learn something different. I want to master it.
Okay.
Because all the hard work that if I know how to make it to the NFL as an undrafted free agent, shoot, I can make it in business.
You can make it anywhere. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's a big one. It's a big one.
So just applying that work ethic to anything else and that energy to something, I knew it would be successful. So this pool company came around that this guy was selling, and I'm like, a pool company? I don't even do my own pool.
Right.
I don't know anything about. I don't know how to cut the light on in my pool.
Right.
But I bought this pool company, man. I bought
That's
this
a true
pool
statement.
company.
He never knew.
Never.
I lived
You
with
didn't
Marcel
either.
for a while. I lived with Marcel when I first moved to Arizona. We had no clue how to turn the light on. We would
right.
turn the switches all the time. We had no clue. So you buy this company.
Yeah. So I buy this company and I'm learning everything, and I'm like I said, I'm out there.
Right.
Like I'm showing up. People like, hey, you Marcel Shipp?
Right.
I'm like, yep.
Right.
I'm cleaning their pool.
No way.
Like I was doing their pool. Like
No way.
I really stepped back and just took Marcel Shipp, the NFL running back,
Right.
out of the equation, man. That I'm just a human. You know, because I always look at myself as that, and it bugs me when people don't really think that they're
Right.
human, that
Right.
they think that they're like God's gift to this
Right.
world.
Right. Right.
But I really had to like put pride aside, everything aside, and I'm going to these people's houses. I'm cleaning their pool.
Right.
I'm learning how to do things because I wanted to understand my business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I want to understand what these guys that work for the business, what they go through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The ins and outs.
Man,
So
much
I
to be said about
yeah.
that.
So you know that was a big reinvention. So more than that, it was just like, damn, you're human, man.
Yeah.
Like you're like.
Bro.
The pride thing had to go to the side.
Yeah, man. That's what I kept hearing over and over. You know, like the ability to swallow your pride. Like again, you know, I know things about you, but I don't know it all, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I would say this as friends, right? I would say this as when you have friends in your life, right? And I've had the suffrage of losing some of my friends, and I never had a conversation with them like this ever. Yeah. I never asked them certain questions because we just live and we joke around and we have fun and then we just go live our life. But to hear, man, I sat in the stadium, right? Yeah. In the family section, in the hot bleachers, but it was thousands of people coming to those games and cheering you on.
That's right.
And it was wild to me to see people with your number 31 and Shipp on their back, right? Like, and I was always like, I was always so proud of you. Yeah. Well, one thing I was always say, I've never like, there's people that you kind of like feel like envious or jealous of.
Yeah.
I just never had that with you. Maybe it's my way of being personally. I really don't feel like I'm jealous of most people, but I felt inspired by it, right?
Definitely.
I always felt inspired. I always watched you, and I remember your Lexus, your red Lexus, cherry red Lexus with the Superman emblem and the spinners. I remember that vividly. And I say all that because I can imagine, having a Navigator. I remember the Navigator vividly. Yep. I remember the Superman, like I said, the Superman car, and then to go from that to scrubbing pools. Yeah. Right. Yep. I think it takes a tremendous character to do that. And so, what do you think equipped you? Like, what do you think about you? Because the world will look at this, Marcel, and they'll think, what a fall. What a fall, right? What a fall. You went from being an NFL player, a starting NFL player, by the way, make sure I mention that. Starting NFL running back, okay? To then being a college and NFL coach, to scrubbing a pool. What do you think prepped you to be whatever that is, humility, whatever it is, grace, and you said ego. What did something prep you? Did you see what changed? Because I think a lot of times we struggle with the funeral of our former self. Yeah. Right. So,
people often ask me, "Do you miss football? Do you miss football?" And I tell them, "No, I don't. I played my time there. It's over. I don't want to go back. Right. I don't want to get hit. Right. I don't I'm not. Right. I don't miss any of that. Right. I loved it while I was there. While it happened, I met some great people. Played with some Hall of Famers that that I stole knowledge from. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
And help build who I am. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So me going to the pool business and cleaning a person's pool and like owning the business and going and trying to get business at different complexes and things like that, commercial properties and things. I love that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's always been the grind for me. It's always been the grind for me. It's always been, let's step outside the box now. Now it's time to do something different. Right. Put that energy that you had there. Right. Put it here. Got it. You know what I'm saying? So now my pool company is doing amazing. Right. It's doing amazing. So cool, man.
How long have you owned it now?
It's been almost six and a half years.
Wow. That went by quick. Man, that went by quick. During that journey of reinvention, Marcel, by the way, congratulations on the reinvention.
Appreciate it.
Was there a time that was dark for you that you recall, like, man, this is a dark time? Like, oh, this is not going the way I want to. Like, obviously I've had the chance to be in your home and all those things. Like, you have a pretty vast home, right? Yeah. A beautiful home. Was there ever a point where you're like, man, this is like, did you have a dark moment? And the reason I asked that question, because I know many of us are going through that same thing or have gone through that same thing. And a lot of times the goal is to like impart something to someone else so they know like, hey, when it gets like this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say, was there a dark time? And then if so, what was like okay, I got to get it back together? Or was it like an easy transition for you? Like, yep, I'm good. I'm gonna go from being an NFL player to scrubbing pools. No problem.
Yeah.
Like,
there were some dark times. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first left the league, like that year, just waiting by the phone, you're talking to teams, oh, we're gonna bring you in, it never happens. So that time was dark.
Right.
It was a time of partying, having a great time, doing anything I wanted to do, like really no discipline at all.
Right.
Having the wrong people around me that all they want to do is party and eat off you. You know what I'm saying? So there were different times. It was during that time, like right after the league, where it was dark, and but I started seeing the light. I don't know, just because I was getting older, or I just know I couldn't carry on the way I was carrying on.
Got it. And you talking about personally, like it's a personal life.
Sir.
So like changing, like going out and stuff like that. Like that's what you mean by that.
Yes.
Got it. So if you were to say like, when in space of reinvention, and I'll say that, like our goal on this is to be transparent and keep it real, right?
Yeah.
I know that transitioning, right? Like one of the biggest strangleholds that men have is around sex and sexual expression, right? Like, so a lot of times we can be distracted by our major goal because we get these little like tiny goals, right? Which is, oh, I get to sleep with this woman and this woman and this woman. Like I can do all these things, and it kind of like depletes your drive, but also it's such a, I would say like a scam. Like you get this thing, and then the exchange for it is like, oh, I thought I was gonna get more out of it.
Yeah.
Right? And I can recall that in my biggest growth opportunity was I needed to harness my sexual expression. And Napoleon Hill talks about this transmutation of sexual energy. It's been said that the biggest driving force that we have is sexual energy. Yeah. I remember like hunkering down when I went to go into business and went to business strong. I knew I had to basically wrangle all my like sexual expression and be like, okay, I can't just let it be and run wild.
Exactly.
I have to change it I have to transmute it to something else. Did you find it to be something like that? And I asked that question a bit loaded to you guys because we grew up in Arizona together, so I'm aware of like what we had to harness or restrict to become the person. So specifically to people in general, because I think sex is one of the things that's always going to be at the forefront. But was that something that you needed to do? And then how did you go about harnessing that energy so that you weren't just wasting it on pursuit of sex and used it to transition to somewhere else? Yeah.
So, playing the NFL, you're training, and the sex issue, the sex is still there. Don't get me wrong. But you know how to control everything you're doing. You're disciplined.
Got it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not missing a workout.
Got it.
You're in the NFL, you're not missing a workout. You can't afford to miss a workout.
You can be cut if you miss a workout?
That's right.
Okay, got it.
You can be cut, but guess what? You miss that workout, there's somebody else that's younger than you is working out harder than you.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't ever want anyone getting a step on you. So that drive right there, I think I lost that when I went through that dark phase right after the league, and then I got it back.
Got it.
I got it back.
Right.
Because I said it brought the discipline back in my life.
Got it.
Because in the NFL, I was disciplined. We always we had our our crazy nights. You know what I'm saying? We definitely did that.
That's some wild times. Yeah.
So anybody watching this, don't think I ain't forget about you.
We can name the places.
Yes, we can.
CBNC was one of them.
Yes, it was.
CBNC was one of them. Jackson on 3rd was one of them.
Oh yeah, it was.
We was in some spots.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Next.
Yes. Oh man, that was a beautiful place, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. But once I got my discipline back, it really set me back on the right track. And then it's like I had my first kid,
Got it.
I really had to change. In my heart, I said, I got to change what I'm doing. I have to build something for my son that's gonna come up and look at me like, damn, Dad, all you do is party, and that's not what I want to be about. That's not what I'm about. So.
How old your son now?
My oldest son is 17.
Okay, so essentially 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Was the I got to change something, or was it prior? I was like, was it like when? Oh, he's on the way type. Like when was the? oh my gosh, I got to be disciplined again? Like, what kicked it? Like,
Yeah. So he was born in '08. That's the year I got released with the Cardinals.
Okay, got it. Man,
So,
what a
yeah,
year.
Exactly. So it was like, I'm in a dark place now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I have this
Wow.
beautiful little
Wow.
baby.
Wow.
And I'm like, I have to make a future for him.
Right,
Man.
right.
Like, my father wasn't there.
Right.
What am I going to be one of those guys that, I didn't have a father, I don't know how to raise a baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I couldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
Man. I couldn't. So that really drove me to like change my ways and get back to just being disciplined in a way that's keeping me on the uprise and not going down.
You think that discipline is probably one of your, like, if you said you had a superhero strength, would discipline be one of them?
Definitely.
Got it.
Definitely.
Got it.
Because I'm not missing a workout.
Got it.
I'm not missing anything that I have to be at or do or things that way. So I just knew how to, balance.
Right.
You know?
I know a lot of times, Marcel, people will hear discipline, right? And people hear discipline, and I believe often we think restriction. Or I can't have, right?
Exactly.
How would you define discipline?
Yeah. Discipline is this. If there's a big party tonight and you have to get up at 6 a.m. and you're not a morning person, don't go to the party.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
I always give that advice to people because I can go party all night and then wake up at 6 a.m. and go kill a workout.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not saying that I should do that and I'm going to get the best out of that workout, but I'm going to be there to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people want to choose the party and then choose to wake up late and miss their responsibility, things that they got to
Domino
handle.
effect.
Exactly.
Domino effect. Discipline is one of those things that it can elicit the feeling of I can't do this or I can't do that, and I always go, you can do whatever you want. You're just choosing not to, which is an empowering way to say it. And I have like a little moniker like around discipline. I always say discipline is what you do today to pay yourself tomorrow.
That's right.
Right. It's like,
that's right.
I don't think anyone likes discipline.
Exactly.
Right? Like as we talk right now, I'm doing a 100-hour fast. Which is our longest fast, right? But it's almost like it's just one of those things where it's like, well, one, I want to be able to test myself, right? But the other thing is, what am I paying for my future self, right? It's like, I know I'm not getting the benefits necessarily. I am, but like, I'm not doing it for today's version of myself. I'm doing it to instill in the future self, right?
That's right.
So I think that's beautiful, man. I think discipline is such a big deal, especially in reinvention. And I think it's one of those things where when you are reinventing, that navigation between where you were and where you're going, that gray area is where most people get lost.
That's right.
That's right. And it can be tough, man, because reinvention, once you have something about yourself that you're like, this is who I am. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, well, now I got to be somebody else.
That's the hardest thing in the world. The hardest thing in the world is to accept that you're not in the NFL anymore. The crowd isn't cheering your name anymore. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. All the lights are off. So now, who are you now? Who are you as a human? Who are you? When people look at you, who do they see? You know? Right. All the people that used to come around, where are they now? Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Big,
like,
that's big.
And I get chills thinking about it because, like, I had people in my life that, they was there to party. Right. They was there to go out. They wasn't there to better me. No. Or say, Marcel, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Or no, it wasn't none of that. Let's go pop this bottle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's go have you with us pop this bottle so all the women come around. Right. And they could get their pay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was a dark time. Man.
Yeah. I think when you have people who you think are your friends and they're there for the upside of it. Exactly. But not there for the actual journey. Yes. It's like, man, I thought that was my man. That's right. I thought that was my friend. That's right. Those things are big. I can imagine that change for you, man. Like just think about, how we would go out and leave the house and stop at Osco Drug. That's right. And then, hit the 10. Yeah. But I remember the entourage. And then some of that's just aging and time and people, getting lives and families and all stuff. But then some of that's like, I thought we were going to be together forever, like type friends type. But yeah, man, I think it's beautiful to hear discipline is one of the biggest things. Yeah. I think that's a deep dive and opportunity. So, man, I think that's a big journey. So let me ask you this. What do you think makes you the most happy?
My kids, man.
Your kids?
My kids,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
My kids, man. I have 3 beautiful boys.
Oh, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, man.
You hit the jackpot. I know somebody out there want boys, right?
Yeah.
What's the secret?
I can't give you the secret, baby.
What's the secret?
It's a dark place.
Yeah. I think we got an episode 2 coming. You got 3 boys.
3 boys,
Knocked
man.
it all out, huh?
Knocked it all out.
Right.
17, 11, and 4, man.
Got it.
So I got to wear 3 different hats, man.
Right,
Oh, man.
right.
So, but they keep me busy, and I mean that's my pleasure, man. That's my joy now.
Right.
Just being a father, man. Just creating for these kids, guiding these kids. You know, they all play sports,
Right.
and you know, just knowing that I was in charge of their lives and just watching them go and take off to be the men that they're gonna be.
Yeah, I can see the goosebumps.
Yeah, definitely.
On your arms,
yeah,
and
man.
you know, it's cool to see
Yeah,
that, man.
man.
And again, you know, we've known each other since I was 18, and like you were 19 or 20, maybe.
Yeah.
It's wild to think, to see it all. You know what I'm saying? And to see like you're not just. You know, sometimes people will get on something and they want to show that they're one thing and they're not that thing.
Exactly.
But you can't make up goosebumps. You
can't.
Right? You can't make up goosebumps. So you're boys.
Yes,
right?
sir.
I love that, man. Yeah. And then what would you say success looks like for you?
Happiness, peaceful, man. I'm at peace right now in life. You know, I still have my ups and downs and my, you know, things that I go through personally, but I'm at peace, man. I'm at peace. I'm at a good place. I'm happy.
Why?
Because I live my life with my kids, man. I live my life with my kids. I'm not looking for living a life through like my selfish reasons and the things that what drove me in the past.
Got it.
You know, so me living for my kids now. I mean, everything I do every day is with my kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there is no Marcel life. Like I had to push. I push things back because I came up with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, and they take priority over everything in this world to me.
Man.
You know.
So you feel like peace is for you. Essentially, what I hear, and maybe this is like cyclical, right? Like maybe this is the arrow pointing to the other arrow. Like, well, when I do this, I get this, right? But what I hear you saying is, I'm living a selfless.
That's right.
Existence.
Exactly.
That's big,
Yes.
bro. That's big, man.
Yes.
That's a big. That's big, and you find peace in living a way that's selfless.
I find peace in it, bro.
Got it.
It's so crazy, man, because I never thought that, you know, being an NFL running back.
Right.
Like, I had years where it was the Arizona Cardinal. Marcel Shipp is on the cover of the calendar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got the
programs.
You know, I got a nickname.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Was it Tugboat?
Tugboat. You know what I'm saying?
Tugboat, man. I ain't heard that in years, bro.
Like, you know,
I haven't heard that in years,
when I would go
man.
by some people that, hey, Tugboat.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit.
That's
like, you know what I'm saying?
crazy.
So, you know,
Man.
it's to go from that and now it's like, hey, everything is through my kids. Man. Everything.
Yeah.
Man. So they get all my energy, time, and everything. So
I love that, man.
I have nothing else.
I love that. I love that, bro. I love that, man. That's beautiful to hear.
Yeah.
Again, a deep dive with someone that I've known for so long. It's wild to hear those things, man, and to know what success looks like for you. Is there a moment in your life where you wish you could relive?
That's a hard one, man. That's a hard question. Like I said, when I look back, like during my playing days, like I would have done more for myself instead of relying on people. Like, you know, as far as like having a financial advisor, he was great, man.
Yeah.
I think he's the best financial advisor I've had in the world.
Right.
Like he kept me poised where, hey, I'm not homeless. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's like he kept me.
He gave you a great plan.
Yes.
Right.
Great plan.
Yeah.
And but I wish I would have did more on the financial side just to become more literate about it.
Yeah.
More knowledgeable about opportunities that was out there and ways to, you know, just maneuver. Just like not just be the typical, hey, here's my money, here's my money, here's my money. But here's my money, but hey, I'm gonna do this. I wanna look into this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would have bought a few houses, maybe a few properties and just things like that. You know, that I had access to that I felt like I didn't take advantage of.
Right. So you had the capital, you had the opportunity.
Exactly.
And you wish you did more with it.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. Makes sense. So what I hear you saying is that he set you up, your financial advisor set you up in a very like moderate, smart, long term.
Exactly.
We're gonna make sure you never go homeless.
That's right.
And you're not gonna be part of statistics that's 80-something% or whatever the percentage is that go broke after the NBA or NFL.
And that's all you can ask for, man.
Right. Yeah.
Like, as an undrafted free agent, I go back to that again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we're not supposed to make it.
Yeah.
And to make a career out of it, man.
To make 8 years.
Yeah, man.
It's unheard of.
It's unheard of.
Unheard of.
Yep.
8 years being in the NFL, you get an NFL pension too?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
NFL pension.
Let me get a
401k
little
popping.
bit.
Well, yeah, 401k popping right now.
Right,
But
yeah.
Hopefully be back.
Hopefully be back. Hopefully be back. Come on, baby. Come on, be back.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. So I have some questions about, I know you talked about your 3 boys. What's the moment you realized life had completely changed after becoming a parent?
I would say learning my youngest one has autism.
Got it.
And I'm tearing up right now because that was a hard thing to deal with, man. Just not knowing the future of your kids and not knowing what to expect. You know, it took a lot. This is my first time ever talking about it.
Yeah.
Like I haven't opened up to anyone about this, and you're gonna have me coming out here crying, man. I seen this on TV, man.
Yeah.
I wonder why you brought the tissues
out. I brought the tissues out. I said, we got these tissues real quick, man. But I appreciate your vulnerability.
Yeah, man. But you know, like I said, I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna keep it 100, and but like just knowing that, you know, he has autism. But he's beautiful, man. He's beautiful. Like, you know him.
Yeah, I do. I do.
You know, he's my baby. I call him my miracle baby because that's what my mom called me.
God,
miracle baby.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and one thing I need to say, autism does not break up families.
Got it.
All right, world. I know we've heard that a few times on national TV from people, but it doesn't. It brings families closer, man. It brings all my boys closer. They love and adore their little brother. You know what I'm saying? Everybody comes and they love and adore him, and you know, it's just he's my miracle baby, man.
Little change snatcher?
Yes, sir.
I call him Little Change Snatcher. I picked him up. He immediately grabbed my chain. I knew who his dad was, so I already knew I had to.
Sir.
Yeah,
yes,
man,
sir,
that's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
So,
I appreciate the transparency, man.
No doubt.
That definitely is a big one, and he is a beautiful kid. He's strong as ever. He's fast as. I mean, it's like it makes sense, man. I mean, ridiculous. You know, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. Yeah. I never knew for sure. I was always like, whatever. Like,
exactly.
Kids develop when they develop. And I'm not a father yet, although I definitely desire to be. Yeah. I don't know the development and cognition of kids. I just like, it'd be good.
That's right.
And
that's right.
He's such a beautiful kid, man. Like,
that's my baby.
But that's beautiful, brother. And he's the youngest.
Yeah, he's the youngest. 4-year-old.
Yeah, 4-year-old, man. Yeah. He was I already knew he was gonna be a handful.
Oh man.
The rip.
Me too.
Right.
I'm jumping out the cribs, man. I'm like jumping off stuff. I'm like, the other two didn't do this.
Right. Yeah, he's ready. He is always
that's my
ready.
miracle baby.
I appreciate you sharing that, man, for sure. What's the most surprising thing you learned about yourself since becoming a parent?
How selfless I can be, man. You know, like for me to just, like I said, it's not about me at all anymore, man. Like I drive the same Range Rover. I've had that Range Rover since for what, 5 years now. I've never had a car that long.
Got it.
I'm always switching them out, new car, this and that.
Always.
But I'm still in that, you know. And now my son drives. Now I got him a car. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about, like I said, it's not about me anymore. About me trying to live this life and be this flashy guy. I drive that car. I played in the NFL. I don't care about that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Humility.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's exactly what it is.
So you really like I could care less, man. Like I don't need to impress anybody.
Nobody.
I understand that.
I ain't impressing nobody.
I understand that.
Facts.
What's one thing you wish you knew before coming a parent?
Shit, how hard it was gonna be.
Yeah. You might tell me now.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you.
I'm out here trying to put my seed in somebody.
Hey, be careful.
So you gotta tell me, man. What's that?
Honestly, man, like it's a 24/7 job.
Got it.
When I lay down at night, my mind is raw. I only sleep maybe 4 or 5 hours max. Max. Because as soon as I wake up, okay, what does my oldest have? What is he doing? How can I help him get better? How can I help him in his school? What is he gonna do in his future? My youngest, okay, I gotta navigate him to, you know, he thinks he's a superstar already. I gotta knock his ego down just a little bit to understand that you're not always gonna be the best, man.
Yeah, you know about your oldest?
No, my middle one.
The middle son. Got it.
Well, he thinks he's Deion Sanders.
Got it.
But I love it.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But you got to control it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between, you know, being confident and being cocky.
Yes, it is. Fine line.
So, you know, then my youngest one, it's like, okay, if something ever happens to me, what happens with him?
Yeah, wow. That's
who's going to love my baby?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the wheels are always spinning, man. So it's a lot, man. It's a 24/7 job, but I love it.
Yeah.
I'm built for this shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm built for it, man.
I love that, bro.
I'm built for this.
I love that, man. Bro, it's so cool to see you be emotional about it, right? You know, and I think that you know, a lot of times as black men, one, we don't have that outlet, right? We don't have that outlet. We don't have that outlet. We don't have the conversation. We don't have someone spitting it to us real, giving us real vulnerability, telling us what's really going on. And I want to say thank you for that, because that's such a big deal, especially with so many single parent households and so many absentee fathers. You know, to hear, oh, nah, that's not true. That narrative is not true.
That's right.
I'm present and I'm here and I'm selfless. I was selfish enough to be selfless now.
That's right.
And that's what I heard you say. That's what I heard you say.
Yes, sir.
That's what I heard you say,
yes,
Marcel. It's probably one of the things I was like, oh, that's what I heard. I heard you were good.
Yep.
Watch the journey. And I went, oh yeah, I know there's times when you're like, no, I'm not doing that, or no, I'm not going to that party, or no, I'm not gonna be able to go to that because I got to be selfish enough for myself.
That's right.
So, and I don't even know if you had the wherewithal at that time, because I know we were just in it. You know, you're just in it. But to see it now, how it plays out, man, I think that word discipline you talked about earlier was paying yourself years down the road.
Right.
Your financial advisor is paying you years down the road.
That's
now you can be a present parent and not have to be stressed.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, sir.
That's such a big deal, man. Thank you for being transparent with that, bro.
Sir.
How do you maintain a relationship with your partner while juggling the responsibilities of being a parent?
Oh, that's tough, man. That's tough. Like, I have a strong wife, man.
Yeah.
She's tough because she makes it a fact. Date night.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got
she makes it a fact. Hey, let's sneak out to lunch right now, like, because she works from home. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, the relationship I have with her, and she's a Umass girl, so we have a lot in common, man. A lot in common, man. So she's beautiful, man. But that she keeps it fresh, man.
Yeah.
Because I do get caught up with the kids.
Yeah.
I get caught up with the kids all the time, but she makes it a business to say, we gotta go out, we and you this, and I'm like, all right. And then we go out and I'm like, I'm happy and I'm relaxed and it's good. And I'm like, damn, we needed that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's definitely the backbone that kept.
That's beautiful, man.
Keeps that
That's beautiful, man. I know your wife, and she's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think that's big. You're keeping your sanity. You know?
Yes.
Every game has a halftime.
That's right.
And so I know you're playing that game 24/7, but you got to get a halftime too, man. To come back fresher.
Exactly.
Come back better. Yeah.
Yes.
I think those breaks are always wildly important. Now, obviously, I'm speaking from a different space, not as a parent.
For sure. No.
But I know that obviously running businesses here in the Valley, the times when I could just not be anybody to anyone, it's probably the biggest thing in the world.
Amazing.
It's probably one of the things I could cry about.
Yeah.
Is the moment you don't have to be somebody to somebody.
Right. Woo.
It's like, and I carried that for so long. All this, I'm always carrying this burden of all the people.
That's right.
And people, you're the buck stop for so many people.
That's
You're the shit rolls downhill. Oh, I'm the one.
Yep.
And it's always like, well, who would be for me if I didn't? If I just was like, oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Would I have anybody?
Yeah.
And so I think that's big that your wife takes time to say, hey, we gotta have date night, because being not one of the best freedoms I've ever had, man. Was being able to not be somebody to anybody. That's beautiful. Just to be Khalil with Khalil.
That's beautiful, man.
So yeah,
that's beautiful to have that space, man.
Yeah, it is. And I would do like staycation sometimes, you know. I stay at a hotel or whatever it may be, and typically during football season. Yeah. And I wouldn't do anything, you know. And I want to say this as like, a share to everyone who's watching. Don't forget about time for self, because you can't pour from an empty cup. We've heard this a million times.
That's right. That's right.
And so, seeing you give to your family and your children and your mom and everybody else, man, that comes around. But you got to keep that full, man. So I love that. I love that, man. What's a valuable lesson you hope to pass to your children?
I just want them to understand that no one's going to give you anything. This is a cruel world, and it's hard. It's hard, man. Like, that's my thing with them every day is like, listen, no one's gonna give you. You gotta go out there and make it happen. Yeah. You gotta go. If you wanna, that's why I use sports as, to me, sports is the best life lesson you can ever learn.
I would agree.
That's on the job training right there, because you learning those ups and downs, injuries, coming back, working with a team, having a coach that you like, having a coach you don't like, being in the wrong system, and still making it work.
Yeah.
Everything in life,
man.
Everything in life,
man.
And to me, football is the real life lesson, because that's what we play, and we get it.
Yes, we do.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that my oldest, he's finally going to play football now. And I'm like, now, because he played basketball all his life, but now he's playing football. He's going to learn. He's different already.
Yeah.
And it's only spring football, and he's already showing, like, he's getting up on his own now, on time, and just, all right, I got to go. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different being.
Yes.
It is a different monster. All too well.
Yes. So.
I think sports does elicit some of those things. It doesn't elicit that. It has the seed of it, right?
Exactly.
Not the full-blown fruit of discipline or like pushing yourself. But I find that people that have done athletics, there was a commercial that came out years and years ago. You probably remember this when we were coming out of college, and it was like, there's X amount of college players, and all of them want to go pro.
Yeah.
And only a certain amount will go. And it was like, but your skills transfer so well to anything else. If you were a person that was disciplined in school.
Yes.
And we went to school with guys that weren't disciplined. That weren't academically sound, weren't showing up to study hall, weren't going to get taped up and going to the training table and getting, treatment and all those things, like all the things that came along with it. But the ones that did, and the ones that made it, and I mean made it, because you were surviving through those times, it instilled, I can get through anything.
That's right.
And so imparting that on them, that they can get through anything is, I think, probably one of the most important lessons you could pass to anybody. Children otherwise.
That's right.
By the way, when we're asking these questions, we may be talking about, Marcel's talking about his children, his 3 sons, but it is advice for us, right? Like, so for our younger selves, or the person that we aspire or desire to be, I really do love that. So, all right, I'm gonna get into some deep questions now. Okay, I know those were deep, but I'm a little bit deeper. Okay, a little bit deeper. If you had to live, if you had to live one last day on Earth, what would you feel like you needed to do before you were no longer on this planet?
It goes back to the kids and the family, man. Like I said, I dedicate my whole life to my family now. So it's like, make sure that I get them my last lecture that they're gonna get, but just make sure things are in order, man. Things are in order for them to, take whatever's left that they're gonna get and do the right thing with it, man. Take care of each other. Understand that, y'all all you got. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I teach my kids, is that you gotta learn how to depend on your brother and depend on and your other brother, because friends come and go. You know what I'm saying? But your brother's gonna love you, and you're gonna meet some friends that you call brother. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, but your brother's gonna love you when you mess up. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get them to understand, it's unconditional love and things that way, but just make sure things are in order
for your family.
With my family.
And I would say this too, I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you have a will in place, a trust probably in place. I wanna urge people, like, listen, there's no soliciting for anything. I would definitely tell every single person to make sure you have a will. Make sure your estate is in order. Make sure your items are in order.
Yes, sir.
The last thing you want, and I say this like a total, kind of spin off of what you said, but we've all went through funerals before. And then it's like the funeral is the event, and then it's like okay, well, who's getting what, right? And I remember going through that with my grandmother and being like, that small thing, a will, 4 letters, that small thing could change your family from staying tight-knit.
That's right.
To dissolving over the matriarch or whoever dissolved, they now are no longer. Now it's like, well, who do we turn to for leadership? And if a will's in place, what I say is that you're paying your family through the grave to be able to help them out so they don't have to think about stuff. The less they have to think while they're grieving, the better off they are. Right? So I think it's beautiful and noble. And again, Marcel, selfless. To be like, well, if I was my last day on earth, I'd make sure my affairs are in order, give my kids my last lecture, you know what I'm saying, to you, and be with my family. I think that's massive, beautiful. I love that, bro. I love that. Where's the place that you find the most peace?
Right now, it's just in the backyard, man. I'm in my backyard and just by myself, man. During the day, at night, whenever I get a chance just unwind and just let my guard down and just relax for a minute. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath just from the day. So that's been my go-to.
And it's just time by yourself. You listen to music, you reading something, you just.
I always have my Judge Judy on
Okay.
TV. You know, I record those every day.
Shout out to Judge Judy.
Record them every day, man. So, you know, I'm watching the Judge, and
That's your favorite show?
that's my favorite show.
That's
man.
your favorite show?
It's so bad, man.
That's your favorite show is Judge Judy?
Judge Judy.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
My
Judge
homegirl Dre got me her autograph for my birthday.
No way. No way.
Like, it's real, man.
Right.
It's real, bro.
Judge
real,
Judy.
man.
I just shot you a couple Judge Judy things on Instagram too, man.
Exactly. I was like, seen that episode.
Oh man, I'm never surprised, bro.
Yeah,
By stuff
man.
you told me. Man. What do you think is an experience that shaped you the most?
I think not having my father around.
Yeah.
I think not having my father around really showed me that, you know, hey, you got to go out there and do it, man. You know, nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to teach you how to do it. You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think me having the ability to just go in things head on and figure it out, like buying the pool company, and I don't know how to work my own pool.
Right.
Shit.
I know that for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I know that for
So
sure.
I have to go and get on the grind and learn it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Me not having a father there, like, that taught me how to do that.
Yeah.
And also taught me how not to be in life.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's
So
that's a bar, bro.
Exactly. So
That's
when
a
someone
bar.
says, like, you know, oh, I never had a father. I don't know how to be a father. Bullshit.
Right.
You know how to be a father.
Yeah.
Just do everything that you didn't have, didn't get. Just do that,
Well said.
and you'll be good.
Well said.
You know what I'm saying?
Well said. Do you ever hold things for parents or men?
You know, actually, me and a friend of mine, shout out to Frank White, you know, we got together. He was going through some times, and, you know, I was going through some things, and we got together, had a couple drinks, and we started talking about fathers, man.
Yeah.
Like, we always get such a bad rap because the bad fathers.
Right. For sure.
So
for sure.
we started a nonprofit called Fathers in Action. Now, granted, we haven't gotten it off the ground yet, but we went through the paperwork.
Yeah.
We got everything. It's legal.
Right.
501.
Yes.
Like, we're good.
Yes.
So, but that was the whole thinking behind it, is to get not just fathers together, but positive people
together
that can, hey, let's have a cookout for the fathers and their kids, and
I champion
positive
that.
people.
I champion
you know what I'm
that.
saying?
I champion that.
Because guess what? You're not a father, but guess what? You got a wealth of knowledge.
Right. True.
And
True. I
like,
appreciate
you
that.
bring like tremendous knowledge to the table.
I appreciate
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Yes.
And being around kids, what you could pour into a kid, like when you talk to my son, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate it. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
wow, he
right,
good.
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I know
appreciate
he's
that,
getting
man.
nothing but positive.
I appreciate that,
You know what I'm
man,
saying? So
for
that
sure.
was the whole thought behind Fathers in Action.
Right.
And I'm trying to get around to it. I'm trying to get to it, but that was my whole thing with that. So.
Man, I love that, man.
Yeah, man.
I really do love that. I think there's again, the channel here is about, you know, obviously the real, right? We talking real talk, but like real advice from real people to make real change. And the real change, oftentimes I know sometimes it seems like, oh, we can't do it because I'm only one person, right? It's like when two or more come together and ask for anything, and his name it shall be, right? It's like, I know you can always multiply your efforts, right? And to know about my guy, Frank White, you know, to hear that, man, is big, because I think there's a huge opportunity. And this is why the channel has been here, because I think there's a void and opportunity of seeing people that look like you, walk and talk like you, and know that they went through the same things and also came out on the other side. Because if you don't see continuous examples of what it could be like for you, then you never think you could be that person.
That's right.
So
that's right.
This is what we're providing. We're providing a platform for people to have examples.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, I just got a couple more questions for you, man, and we'll wrap. Is there a dream that you've had that you never shared, or a dream that you like is still in your heart, like a song in your heart you still know you got to sing, or something you know you're like, you know what, I really know this is going to be like a thing for me?
No, honestly, Khalil, man, like I always say, man, I've accomplished it. I've accomplished everything I set out to do, man. I really don't see anything else, like me personally, that I need to go out on a limb and do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to speak. I mean, there's always room for improvement.
Yes, of course.
You know what I'm saying? I'm always looking to grow. But as far as like accomplishment or like a dream thing that I want to always accomplish, like right now I just want to see my family happy and smiling, and them not going for nothing, not wanting for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my dream. my reality.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have any regrets?
Oh man, a lot of regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of. I put it like this. A lot of dark moment regrets.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
So those, you know, that dark phase that I've gone through, but I had to go through that to get to who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I can't say that I regret it, but you know, some questionable things there. But at the same time, it's like I needed that to get to the next step.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. It's a question I like to ask, and I like to ask myself, right? How do you define love?
Defining love is like to me, the selflessness, the dedication. It's such a hard question, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, me being selfless and giving my all to whatever it is that I love, I have love for is, you know, that's when I love football. I dedicated everything. I gave it my all. When my leg turned around, I had to love this sport to come back and do it. So it was like me really being selfless and saying, look, I gotta get it, I gotta grind, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? So, and now with my kids, it's like, the love I have for them is just unconditional. So it's like nothing I wouldn't do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to give them all the opportunities and exhaust all avenues for them to be successful. So it's really putting yourself second and putting that person in front of you.
Got it.
You know,
I love that, man. That's man, that's big. That's big. Again, you know, I think the whole thing speaks of being selfless, man.
Yeah.
If you had 3 words to describe you, right, and your legacy, right? This is the last day someone is speaking your eulogy, right? Someone's speaking for Marcel. Is there 3 words, a phrase, or a quote that you would say, I would love for someone to remember me as this is my legacy before I left my mark on the planet and this was my legacy? What would it be?
I think a quote would be, wow, that's deep, brother. That's deep. I think just the fact that I like this selflessness it's not just with my kids, but I've had that through my whole life with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I opened my doors to people. Like, people needed something, they had it.
Right.
Like, you needed to go here, you had it.
Right.
Like, if I had it, you had it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that right there, just knowing that I just wanted people to do better.
Yeah,
I wanted people to get to their potential. I wanted people to, you know what I'm saying, like, just to grow, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I see someone take off, like you came out here with a damn suitcase, man.
Right.
Like,
Real.
you was at the
That's
crib,
real.
and guess what? Took off, man.
Right.
That was beauty. That was beautiful to me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love that, and that's what I want to see all my friends do. But guess what? Everybody's not gonna do that.
Nah, that's truth.
That's true.
That's truth.
And it's only the handful.
Yeah,
that,
man.
I mean, maybe one, you.
I appreciate
But you know what I'm
that.
saying? But like,
for real, man.
everybody's not meant to take off like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but me just always having that, my door is open. You know what I mean? When a friend didn't have a place to even stay, I kicked out his house.
Right.
He come stay with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, I was always there for people, and so.
Yeah. I would say grace, generosity, and love.
There
For
it
sure.
is.
For
Love
sure.
it.
Grace, generosity, and love, man.
Love it.
Marcel, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast.
pleasure,
It's the
man.
very first podcast.
Yes, sir.
I've been choked up, physically choked up a few times, just, you know, getting to know my friend for just a long time. That's my real family, man. And it means the world. When I announced that I want to do a podcast, I told Marcel, because I am in a space of reinvention. I've done a lot of things and done them well. Ate high on the hog, so to speak, although I don't eat pork.
Allegedly.
And I was picked on so much for not eating pork in college, but I just appreciate you being on the podcast today.
Sir.
When I first thought about who the first person I would think of, it was you. But I got to watch your journey, man, and so, you know, I think you gave a lot to the people. You know, obviously, like and subscribe and comment. Okay, like, subscribe, and comment for our very first podcast, The Real with Khalil. Real people, real life, real solutions for real change. And before you go, Marcel, I want you to nominate, okay, 3 people that you would want to see to come on the podcast. Who 3 people? And when I ask you these 3 people, I want you to be able to, I would love at least 2 of them to be people that you know, like you could pick up your phone possibly. And then one person that you like, man, it'd be crazy if you got, Judge Judy on the show type of thing, right?
Man.
So who are those 3 people that you would nominate to be on the next The Real with Khalil?
The next Real. I nominate Damian Anderson.
Okay.
Former teammate of mine, running back. Me and him are still close friends. He'd be great for this.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Great dude. Terrell Smith.
Okay.
All right. Terrell Smith played fullback here
Yeah.
back in my day. And
Did he play for the Niners too?
no, he played for
The Browns?
the Saints.
Saints.
And
Okay.
the Browns.
Browns.
And the Browns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Fullback.
Okay. Terrell Smith.
Yes,
Okay.
because he. Oh man, you'll love this
Yeah?
guy. Love him. You'll love him.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
And next, I would say, let's go with Mr. Arizona, Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay,
Man.
okay.
Yeah, let's do Fitz.
Fitz.
Beautiful.
Beautiful,
man.
I
It'd be a
love
beautiful
that.
thing,
I
man.
love that. Those nominations are great. You said Damian Anderson,
Terrell Smith,
and Larry Fitzgerald. And then lastly, for those gentlemen, whoever comes on, because you guys are nominated now, what's a question you want to ask them or a piece of advice you would want to ask?
How are you navigating the world after football?
That's a beautiful question, man.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful question.
Yes, sir.
This wraps up our very first The Real
Yes, sir.
with Khalil, my guest star host, my guy, Marcel Shipp, national champion from Patterson, New Jersey. New Jersey stand up. I'm a New Jersey native as well. But I just want to say thanks to you guys so much for joining us today. And make sure you subscribe, like, and comment The Real with Khalil.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Peace.